Welcome to No Stats, where we call it how we see it.
Back again with another one.
Back again. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment, send to a friend. All of the above. Keep showing the love, and we're going to keep dropping this content. You know, keep talking about the latest news, your favorite sports teams, your favorite players, and get Peach mad when we talk about K-Day. So make sure
Your
y'all...
favorite player's favorite player.
Watch the handle, it takes skill. We gotta run it back. We in the field, and you said it's exact. You in your field, we looking for the facts. Let's keep it real, yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats.
What you got for me today,
man.
brother? What we doing?
Today is the day, man. What's today's date? Today's the 19th?
Mm-hmm.
The 18th or the 19th? Late night, John. 19th. The draft is 3 days away. So you know we are giving you the No Stats Mock Draft 2.0, baby. Extra 2.0, man. But we're gonna dive into this draft, give y'all our best analysis on our picks and our thoughts on this NBA draft coming up, based on mock drafts that we've seen, based on our own knowledge, and we're gonna get through this as best as we can. Sit tight because it's about to get hot. It's about to get a little bumpy. Kevin's gonna pour this up for us.
Yes, sir. We locked in.
We locked in?
Yeah, can you see it? You good?
Yep, I'm all good.
All right.
All right, we got first pick, man. We got the San Antonio Spurs. Arguably hit a home run in this draft lottery. If they don't take Victor Wembanyama here, I think they need to fire the whole organization. We're talking about generational talent, 7'5", 220, looking like a unicorn in his own right. Interesting to see how he develops to the NBA game when he has that NBA weight, sort of like how Giannis transitioned to that NBA weight. And I'm excited. I know Spurs fans is excited. They can get this franchise heading in the right direction.
Quick question for you, bro. Not to cut you off. Do you retool the San Antonio Spurs ASAP? Because there's not a lot of championship talent on that team right now, right? So with drafting a guy like this, do you bring him in and you just see what it's like the first year, or do you try to hit free agency and do some trades and build a team around him ASAP?
Nah, I'm giving him the keys. As soon as he steps foot off the plane and he lands in the United States, I'm giving him the keys to the organization. We don't need no vets. We don't need no other superstar coming in here. It's just going to be you and Keldon Johnson. Y'all going to run this show, even if this takes 2 years for y'all to generate wins, because if they don't win this year, they're still in a great spot. They still have another lottery pick to get in the draft and add to building Wembanyama that way. Now, if we have a better, season, we maybe touch the play-in his second year, then I will look into adding veterans, adding other guys that could come in there and take some of the load. But I'm giving him the keys immediately just to see how far this guy can take us.
Understood. Victor, the first pick in the draft.
Victor Wembanyama.
All right. The Charlotte Hornets are on the clock, bro.
The most.
Talk to me.
I think they hold all the cards in the draft with this number 2 pick. I don't think it's many wrong answers that they can do here. I personally would take Brandon Miller, and that's who I have them taking. The reason why is just based on fit. Like I had stated in our videos prior, I don't even think we had posted it yet, but the Hornets have guys like Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward that they can, trade, dangle out there to see if they can get some more assets back. I would take Brandon Miller here just because he fits into that wing spot. Their wing depth, they need wing scoring, they need wing creation, they need wing shooting. Brandon Miller is perfect for this. Now the whispers of them taking Scoot Henderson here, who's arguably the second best athlete in this draft. Second best player, I should say, in this draft. But I don't know how that would fit with LaMelo Ball. It seems a little rickety. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, I agree, bro. I think with LaMelo, right, All-Star, NBA All-Star, NBA Rookie of the Year, and I think a rising star in this league, right, a face of the NBA. I don't think you want to make him unhappy, and I don't think you want to try to force 2 point guards. You know how I feel about Scoot Henderson's game. I think he's going to end up being the best player of this draft, even with a unicorn like Victor, who will be good. But I love Scoot's game, his explosiveness. I think it's NBA ready. But I think it's a force if you take him here, and you would have to move off LaMelo, and it'll just be a lot. And, Jordan's still picking for the Hornets, even though he sold the team. So he could end up drafting somebody from all the way down here.
Amari Bailey with the second pick of the draft.
Jordan could take Connor Williams from Illinois State.
Big man actually a bucket too, man. That's funny as hell.
But no, I agree. I think Brandon Miller's the fit, bro. I like that. I like that a lot. So we're going Brandon Miller there.
We're going Brandon Miller on this one, man. Baby KD. All right, number 3.
Portland Trailblazers on the clock.
Another team that's also holds a lot of the cards with them having this pick and still having Damian Lillard under contract. I wouldn't be surprised if Dame gets traded on draft night here, and they draft Scoot Henderson. I don't see how you don't take Scoot here if you're the Portland Trail Blazers, even with still having Dame under contract, whether they go in the direction of, bringing Dame in, let him play half the season, and then moving off from him if they see how the trajectory of the season is going. But I'm taking Scoot Henderson here with the 3rd pick to the Portland Trail Blazers.
I agree, bro. I think Dame is all but out the door. He's packing his bags, and I like the idea of a Scoot and Anthony Simons backcourt. Anthony Simons is really nice, so I think they'll pair well in the backcourt, and you build around them and see what you can get there. Maybe you can pull something out of Cam Reddish, but you replace Dame with another high, talented, guard, and I think you might lose a beat while he gets adjusted to the NBA game, but I think Scoot will have Portland right back, at least in playoff contention before we know it.
Seth is big on Scoot here.
Yes, sir. And he won't last past 3. We could see some trades going on there, but I don't think Scoot will last past 3.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. I definitely wouldn't be surprised. You got Jeremiah Grant, who's also a free agent for the Blazers too. So
true.
He could also shift the balance on a couple teams.
Houston, bro.
Houston, man. I think
Young
Houston
squad.
is. I think they're on the. I think they're on the ups. I think you bring in a guy like Ime Udoka, who's gonna, kind of change the culture over there, get these guys on a more serious note. With the cap space that they have there, but they can throw some money at a big fish. You see that Harden has ties there too. I heard they might throw something at Kyrie Irving as well. So with the 4th pick here, I think you need also the bolster that wing spot a little bit, that shooting guard spot. I know you still have Jalen Green. I know Kevin Porter plays a lot of the point. I like Jabari Smith more as like a small ball 4 as well. So I have here Amen Thompson.
Okay.
I think the Thompson twins are arguably the same player. One's a little bit more athletic and the other one could make a little bit better. Both are kind of streaky shooters, but you get an athletic wing here that can get out and transition. Very high flying, very athletic, can play defense. And I think that'll, send the Rockets in the right direction if they can also sign somebody else this offseason.
Yeah, I agree with the pick, bro. I think it gives them some bigger guards, right? I know Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green are 6'4". I tell you what, though, this is going to be an athletic, young Rockets team. I know the Rockets aren't going to make the playoffs, right? But they're going to be fun to watch. It should be, a lot of running, a lot of gunning. I think Ime Udoka, I had them boys playing for something. But Jabari Smith Jr., they got a lot of young talent. It's just
Alperen Sengun is good too.
Yeah, Sengun is a beast. I agree, bro. And if Amen Thompson can play that point guard position, I think that's what they're lacking, really, like a true point. Like you said, Kevin Porter can play. He plays the point sometimes, but he's not a true point. If the Thompson twin can come in here and be a point guard, like kind of like a, more athletic LaMelo Ball, help get these other guys involved. I think that'd be very beneficial for the Houston Rockets. First twin off the board.
First twin. That's probably got to be crazy.
Detroit.
Draft with your twin.
I know.
Detroit. Now, that I can tell you now, this draft could be. It's after you get out of the top 5. You know, there's some guys that can go as high as 7. Then you got a guy that could go 20th. So, you know, it's going to be a lot of moving pieces on draft night. For the Pistons, I think they need more of they got to figure out their front court issues. I like the back court going forward and Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. But I think they need more prowess. They need they need more defensive guys out there. And that's why I'm going with Jarace Walker out of Houston, 6'7" power forward, very tenacious, very aggressive. He got that Houston pedigree in him. And I think, playing that 4 spot out there for Detroit, if they decide to keep Bogdan, healthy Cade Cunningham, I don't care who you start out of Wiseman, Jalen Duren, and fucking Marvin Bagley. But I think that team could win some games. What do you think, bro?
I'm not disagreeing with the pick, bro, but I was kind of leaning Cam Whitmore. When you look at the team's current roster, they don't really have a small forward. And I think pairing him, right, he has the same size. I know Walker's a little heavier than Cam Whitmore, but Cam is more explosive. And coming into Villanova, he was a top recruit. This was a guy that was maybe projected to be a top 3 pick. And he came back into Villanova, if I'm not mistaken. He missed a few games. He missed the start of the season, Cam. So I think Detroit, would kind of lean Cam here, still get that height, get a 3, put him next to Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham. You get Cam Whitmore at the 3, Marvin Bagley as your 4, and then you figure out that 5 if it's James Wiseman, if it's who they have at the bench, Jalen Duren.
You see me smiling? I wish you could see my piece. I wish you could see my piece of paper. Remember when I text you? I said, "Bro, this draft is crazy." I had Cam Whitmore going down here at 5, and then I double back. I was like, maybe Cam goes here, and then Walker goes here, but
I'm rocking with you on this.
I like Cam. No. We're gonna go Cam, bro. We're gonna just switch Cam. I'm gonna go with my original on where I had them at.
I think Cam makes sense in Detroit.
And what you initially said, bro, like absolutely, like he fits that Piston squad way better, bro, way better. Just the intangibles that he brings.
Magic on the clock. Pick 6.
We got the Magic. Now
it's an interesting one.
This is a very interesting one because some teams had Anthony Black going here, but I do not like that pick. We're talking about a team that still has Markelle Fultz, still has Cole Anthony, still has Jalen Suggs, still has Gary Harris. So that backcourt is a little. They need shooting, but I think they can get a little bit more athletic. I have Asar Thompson going number 6 to the Magic.
Okay.
Just to like I said, get a little bit more athletic on that perimeter. Got a guy that can defend. Still could play make a little bit. Like I said, the Thompson twins are streaky shooters, but all it takes is 1 or 2 off season to get that jump shot hitting right. If you have Markelle Fultz out there, Thompson, you go Franz Wagner, you still have Paulo out there at the 4, and then you go Wendell Carter. It's not a bad team in the East.
Yeah, and they got some young guys off the bench. If Jonathan Isaac can, stay healthy, it'd be nice to see him play. Cole Anthony, Bo. They have some talent on that team, and I agree, bro. And I think it's a shooting guard. It's one of the 3 shooting guards in this spot. I agree with the Thompson twin, but it's Thompson, it's Black, and it's Grady Dick. You got 3 shooting guards, all 6'7". All unique in their own right? When it comes to basketball skill and talent. But I think one of these 3 guys would be the pick, and I think you got to take the guy that's higher on the draft board, a guy who, like you said, athletically, I think he fits this Orlando Magic's team and brings something that they're missing. So I agree with this pick here.
They're gonna get out and run, man. They are going to
absolutely
get out and run.
All right, who we got? Indiana.
We got Indiana. Now, this is where I originally had Cam Whitmore going.
Okay.
With the seventh pick, the Pacers are gonna take how do you say it? Jarace? Am I saying it?
I think it's
Jarace.
Jarace. I don't know.
Walker, out of Houston, and I think the position that the Pacers in, because they have, let me see, they have 3 more picks. Yeah, they have 2 more after this pick. They have 2 more picks in the first round. So I think you got your point guard. You just locked in Miles Turner. So I think they just have to plug in those other pieces. I like Buddy, but he could be on the move in a trade. You have the young Benedict Mathurin, who's been phenomenal, all rookie first team. So you're kind of solidified right there, but I think you need to.
True.
A lot of these teams got to add shooting. They got to get their power forward position correct. Get maybe a stretch 4 out there, somebody. But I think if they could bring in this kid out of Houston, I think he can at least give them some sense of direction going forward. What do you think, bro?
I agree, bro. Initially, I had Walker falling, down the draft board. One, because of, and not Walker's fault, but the conference that Houston plays in wasn't the best competition. A lot of times you see these ACC, you see Kansas, you see these Blue Bloods, even the SEC in recent memory, and the Big Ten, right? You're playing against a lot of guys that's getting drafted, and the tape just is better for a lot of teams. And I wonder if Walker's going to be able to be that tweener, because at 6'7", and I know the game is changing, but you're going to be able to pull, you're going to be able to defend. He's going to be expected to play that Aaron Gordon role for them, and I agree with the pick here. I think Indiana will take him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he falls come draft day.
Keep an eye out for that. I think it's no wrong answers for the Pacers in this draft, and maybe the next draft. We'll see how that goes. Who we got? Number 8, the Wizards. I don't know how you. Yeah, I don't know how you not take Anthony Black right here. Come on, man. This 6'7" freshman out of Arkansas. I
like Anthony Black a
3-level
lot too.
Scorer. Can create off the dribble. Does a lot. Great facilitation. Great size. And it gives you, like I said, with that sense of direction, it gives you a piece that could come in. I don't know what type of impact that he'll make, but I think that he can get this franchise going in the right direction. Maybe see how that works with Kuzma and Porzingis if they decide to opt in, which I highly doubt. If not, then you give Anthony Black the keys, and then you build from there. Yep.
Agreed, brother. All right, we got next Utah,
another team that. They're kind of flowing. There's really no wrong answers here. You're just plugging in. I was torn between Taylor Hendricks here and Bilal Coulibaly.
Oh, you're going big.
Yeah, he what's the name? Bilal.
He's smart for it.
He plays for
France.
He plays for France now. Because of the recruitment of Victor Wembanyama, he kind of showed up on the radar, and his draft stock kind of been rising a lot. Big body guy, very athletic. He can really get it done. He can really go. I think that gives Utah a guy that can bolster that 4 spot for them. I know they have who's starting the 5 right now. I know they have like a bunch of guys like Kelly Olynyk. You still got maybe slide Laurie down, because I think the only untouchable piece now is Laurie Marketing. I know Jordan Clarkson's contract is up. He has I think a player option. So he got a player option.
My thing, yeah, he does. At least if I'm remembering it correct. So I do like Taylor Hendricks here, right? But I don't know what you do with Taylor Hendricks if Laurie Marketing is your 4. If you just move Laurie to the 5, I kind of like I'm going to butcher his name, guard out of Indiana, Jalen Hood, Schifino.
Schifiano.
He played really well, bro. And later in the season, I forget who Indiana's other guard was. I forget, but they started taking him away, and you seen Jalen coming to his own. He's a freshman, but he has game. He has some game, bro. And I don't think Utah has a point guard. Like Jalen Clarkson played point guard, right? But they don't have a true point. Like, how do you replace a guy like Mike Conley on this roster? And I don't think they're going to even put anyone and jeopardize Lauri Markkanen. And like you said, he's solid. I think you work on that backcourt. And I had that being a pick.
You could even bro. Because I have down in parentheses, like I said, it gets sticky after you got out of 5. But I also had Cason Wallace from Kentucky. Also had him there as like a lead guard.
Okay.
I think Nick Smith. I think they're gonna go to like teams that that guard spot is opening up and they could come in and contribute immediately. So I said if the Jazz, if they don't go big here, if they didn't go with Taylor Hendricks or Bilal, I had Cason Wallace here. But I love the Jalen pick. It makes a lot of sense.
You call the pick here. I got the last one. You call it.
We're gonna go with Jalen.
You like Jalen? I just think they need a guard, bro.
They do, bro. When you look at it, I have down here that they need
6'5".
Jazz needs everything, especially needs a point. Build around Lauri, because I think he's the only one that's untouchable right now.
Right, play that pick and roll with Jalen and Lauri. I like it. Dallas, who fought like hell to keep this pick.
You got to add to that.
Who do you put next to Luka?
I'm going with a 3-and-D guy, man. I'm going with Bilal.
Okay.
From the French national team. Like I said, them trading Dorian Finney-Smith last year really left a hole on that perimeter guard these bigger forwards. I think you take some of the pressure off Luka and Reggie Bullock to bang with these guys. You get a 6'7" guy in here that can really, really go. I think, some of that was kind of, I'm saying kind of. A lot of that shit was blinded from the presence of Victor Wembanyama. But I don't think Dallas goes wrong here with selecting Bilal with the 10th pick. Bilal.
All right, Magic back on the clock. They took Azor Thompson with the 6th pick. They back up with the 11th, right? So now they done touched on a big guard, 6'7", explosive, athletic guy. How do they complement him and also complement Paolo and their young pieces now? Where do you have them going?
I was torn between 2 people here, bro. I was torn between Grady Dick and Jet Howard. I think you got to add shooting right here. And that's the areas where I feel like they need to grow. They have a lot of guards. They have a lot of bigs with Wendell. I know Mortiz Wagner. I know he's due up for free agency and stuff, but I don't see him really going anywhere. You still got the project in Bobo, who's still a phenomenal prospect. Still got Isaac down there. So I think you need to add shooting. I think you need to add bigger wings to go beside Paulo, to go besides France. So I initially had Jet Howard going here.
Okay.
With the 11th pick. What you think, bro?
Okay. I like Grady Dick. I do think they need some shooting. I'm just looking at this young core, bro. They got a lot of young players. That's that. If you can tap into the potential.
Woo! You talking about some
and you're in the East.
love seeing them grow like that, bro. I love when them teams transition to I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like you remember watching, I hate to trail off here, but you remember watching Golden State knock on the door every year and they get eliminated by the Nuggets, and they going the second round, they going against the Spurs, they losing to the Clippers, but they still knocking on that door, man.
Yeah. Question for you, bro. Before we take Jet Howard, if you're the Orlando Magic, what makes you take Jet Howard and Grady Dick still on the board?
I like that Jet Howard, and I'm not saying that Grady Dick can't put the ball on the floor, But I think Jet Howard has a little bit more sauce, even if you bring a guy like him off the bench, because you initially already drafted Asar Thompson, so arguably he would start. But I feel I could see Jet being more of a better six man. I think Grady gives me like a better Duncan Robinson vibes. I just have to see a little more. I know he's a little way more athletic, but that's why I went with Jet here, because I think he's a guy that you can expend off the bench to come in to not just shoot the three at the high clip, but he can also put on the floor and get you some buckets. So that's why I lean towards Jet here.
Jet it is. OKC,
another team that like I said, it's really no wrong answers here with your young core. You got endless amounts of assets. I got Derek Lively going here, bro.
I was thinking Hendricks or Lively. I think you need a big.
You need some size down there. Somebody that athleticism that you could throw lobs to. I don't want to see Chet banging with Embiid, banging with Jokic.
Agreed.
Banging with
100%.
Sabonis. I don't want to see him doing that. I think Chet is a natural stretch for. Let him get out and slide his feet on the perimeter, block some shots, off rotations. But as far as him getting back down, having him frail in the post, have 7-2 back there, 7-1 back there that can space the floor. And boy, OKC's gonna be scary in a couple years, man.
I can see Shea driving, kicking to Derek. I like that. I think that pick makes so much sense, bro. That pick makes so much sense. Toronto.
Ooh.
Fred's out the door.
Fred's out the door. I think OG and Pascal will soon be out the door. It's another team that I keep telling y'all that keep your eyes on draft night. I'm going either. I got Cason. I wish I could say his name right. Cason Wallace. That's my initial pick. Great floor general out of Kentucky. Could come in, control the pace. He has the type of game that's built for an NBA point guard. But you could also not go wrong with Nick Smith here. Another dynamic guard that could come in and take the reins and cook and create. Those are my two right there, bro. What do you think? We're gonna go with you on this one.
I agree on the position. I think it's a point guard. I would just lean the 6'5", the longer, the more athletic Nick Smith Jr. to be the head of my snake. I think Cason Wallace is a guy that you bring in if you have a really good 2 already, and he can kind of complement that shooting guard. I think with the Raptors kind of in rebuild mode, really, I think Nick Smith Jr. is a good starting piece, right? And then you figure out where you go from there. So that's my thought.
Nick Smith it is.
Nick Smith's a beast too, by the way.
Yes.
All right.
Dog.
New Orleans. One of your favorite teams on the low.
He's mad because I want to give them and the Timberwolves a chance. Oh man, another one here where it's like, what do you do? Are you gonna actually trade Zion and go up? Are you still investing in CJ McCollum? Because I had Kobe Bumpkin going here.
Okay.
But then I also have in parentheses down here that they could get Keontae George, who could come in and be that spark, a bucket immediately. But I'm leaning more towards Kobe here. I think he's a little bit of a better fit because he can play that point guard position. They don't really have, and I know a couple of takes were saying, Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson is your playmakers, but I think you still need a point guard out there.
Yeah.
That can retool. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, I think you need a point guard, bro. I think New Orleans in a tough spot because you could take Cason Wallace, right? But then that leaves you with a smaller backcourt with Cason and CJ. Yeah, I'm rocking with you, bro. I don't know what New Orleans is going to do. This is a tough pick because you got a mixture of guys. You got a guy that you could trade. You got a guy in Brandon Ingram. It's like, can he be our one? What do we need to put around him? We got a guy like C.J. McCollum who's reaching the end of his career, but we don't want to take the ball out of his hands too much. They're in a weird situation.
And they got assets on the bench, man. You think they got Jose Alvarez, they got Trey Murphy, still got Najee Marshall. Actually his contract is up.
I like Kobe. I like Kobe.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna think about that one. I like Kobe.
Hawks. Yeah, Atlanta Hawks. Seth doesn't tell us. No time on the show. He doesn't never tell us he's a Hawks fan. Y'all. He's a Hawks fan.
I'm a Hawks fan. I'm a Hawks fan. This is not like my Bengals fandom. You know what I mean? So the light is just dim. I don't really care too much if they win or not.
Until they're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Then I'm gonna come on here with Hawks gear.
Oh my God! But we got I think this is a very big year for them. We'll have the second year with DeJounte and Trey under their belt. They had a year they fine tune things. I think you dangle John Collins out there to see what you can get in the trade, and I think you draft Grady Dick right here. Improve your shooting on the perimeter. Slide him next. I would love to see a lineup of Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, Grady Dick, DeAndre Hunter, and then Clint Capella.
Go smaller. Okay.
Yeah, throw some more shooting out there that'll open up the floor a little bit more for Trae Young. Open up the floor a little bit for driving for DeJounte Murray out there. And that's my pick there for the Hawks. What do you think, bro?
Okay.
You look like you.
Yeah, I like it. I was thinking about Sadiq Bey and AJ Griffin. I was thinking you need a big here because you got a Kongu, you got Clint, and if John Collins is out the door, you kind of strapped to Bruno Fernando out of Maryland, who, is okay. But you look at the draft board and you don't want to go reaching. I like Taylor Hendricks, but he's another guy I could see falling. I like the idea. You broke it down and you sold me on it. We're moving DeAndre Hunter to the 4.
You get to keep Bogdan. Where the league gets going now, man. If you think about it, Durant's gonna be fucking starting the 4 now. That four spot's getting a little prototypical.
Right.
And I love
like that.
You've seen it a lot in that Boston series with Bogdan coming off the bench. I think he's very good in that role, able to come in and take some of that pressure off Trae Young and DeJounte Murray with his playmaking and his shooting.
All right, we're back at Utah.
Utah again, Mr. No Wrong Answers.
They took Jalen, so they got their guard. They got Laurie.
They got Laurie.
I think now you can kind of.
I want to see who you got out there. Here. Who would you go here, bro?
I would go Keontae George.
That's why you are on those stats, man. We think alike, baby.
I would go Keontae George, man. I think the value of this pick is high reward. If you can get the top Keontae George that we saw in Baylor at moments, the guy that Baylor recruited. I think put him next to Jalen with Laurie. You got that backcourt. I don't know what you'll do with Jordan Clarkson. I don't think he's a free agent. Got the player option.
He has the player option. Yeah. I don't think he accepts it. So I think he
goes
to more of a contender.
Right. And I think you go young and I think Keontae's the pick here, bro.
Still got that dog in Colin Sexton. It'll be interesting to see how Utah retools in the next couple off seasons.
Agree. I hesitated a little bit there because Jordan Hawkins is going to get some love, man. Especially coming off a national championship, the way he performed.
And that's why we're at this pick right now.
Agreed.
Oh man, LA. Oh man,
La La Land.
Come on, man. I have Jordan Hawkins going here. I think you need a young gunner out there that can go. A guy that come on, man. You seen the way he was going. He goes, bro. He goes. And then you put a young guy out there with a LeBron, with Anthony Davis, those veteran guys. Backing up Austin Reeves because they're gonna find a way to to sign Austin Reeves and pay him his money. And I think this would be big for the Lakers going forward. Bolster that bench up there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Darvin Ham's gonna give him that opportunity too, man. That's one thing I can say about Darvin Ham.
That was the problem, right? They missed shots. The Lakers missed a lot of shots in the playoffs, a lot of threes, bro. Surprisingly, they got to the Western Conference Finals with missing shots. Missing all those open threes. So I think Jordan Hawkins just makes perfect sense if he's available here.
Absolutely.
Miami. Finals appearance.
Now, this one was sticky. I had like 3 different names going here, man. I just squeezed it out because, Miami definitely needs a fucking power forward. I don't think Love is going to be a free agent this year. I don't think he comes back. You still got Nikola Jovic, who they drafted last year, who's still a project in itself. I have Leonard Miller going here.
Okay, I like
another guy with some size from Canada. But he has that Jimmy Butler size in him, the defensive guy that could come in and I think he can start. He could get out 6'10" actually. Him out there next to a Bam, next to Jimmy Butler. I think that could be a little bit more productive. It could take Jimmy off of the bigger assignments of guarding those perimeter guys. You have a young athlete out there that can get out and transition in. You never know how this is going to go for the Miami Heat.
I think that's fit. I think he's a Heat player, and I think the Heat culture, I have no problem getting the most out of him because he's a project, right? But I think Coach Spo and Pat Riley and Jimmy and Bam, they'll make sure he's up to speed, and I think that's a good pick right there for Miami.
He's gonna get a booklet like this: Miami Heat culture, page 1.
Real rap, though. Real rap.
Oh man!
All right, bro. Golden State Dynasty,
man. It's crazy. Some names up here on the board who I don't have going to Golden State. Scroll down a little bit. Let's see if he pops up.
Who you don't have going to Golden State? What do you mean?
Keep going. Let me see. Did he pop up yet? Wow. So he's down there a little bit. Wow. Oh, there he goes.
Who? Amari Bailey?
Nope.
Oh, Jalen Wilson.
Nah, go up. I have Sidney Sissoko.
You got these France players flying off the board, don't you?
International, the game's going international, man.
It is.
I had him or Nick Smith. If Nick Smith was a drop, I had him going here. Also seen a couple drafts have Derek Lively dropping this far, which I highly doubt. Going to Golden State. But I picked Sidney because he's another big guy. This was just in case they lose a guy like Draymond, another guy with some size that could create a little bit. I think fitting inside the Golden State culture, you got the guys like Andrew Wiggins, you got Jonathan Kuminga. He fits right in tune with them. But like I said, it could switch up a little bit, man. What you think?
Yeah, I was gonna ask about Rupert. I don't know too much about him, but he's another guy out of France, right? He's higher on the draft board. He's 6'7". Can he come in and kind of fill, because I'm getting the feeling that Draymond, he opted out of his contract. I'm getting the feeling that Draymond isn't really going to come back. That's just my feeling.
I think he stays. I think they reconstruct. Okay. I think they reconstruct his contract. But I wouldn't be surprised though if something sticky happens and he leaves. But I think Golden State needs more size, and they need more guys that can like a forward big down there that can actually be productive offensively. No offense, Draymond's productive in a different way.
So Rupert and City are both shooting guards, 6'7". You know what I mean?
I mean, Rupert seems to have the higher upside though, since he's higher on this. I do think
in this draft board, take it with a grain of salt. I haven't watched either of these kids play like live, right? Them being in France. All we did was read scouting reports and things like that. I'm rocking with you.
Rocking, we're
City
going
it
City
is.
here. City it
City.
is. High pick, man. High
All
pick.
right. Back to Houston. There's a lot of teams with double picks. Back to Houston, bro.
Got
Get
Houston,
a point
man.
guard. It's athletic.
Man, already got the. I think right now, if you're Houston, I think you either gonna take Noah Clowney here, or you're gonna take Taylor Hendricks.
Yeah, I think Taylor Hendricks
bolster that 4th spot. I think he finally gets up out of there.
Yeah, I think he flies off the board here, bro.
Because I think you start Jabari at the 4. So we're looking at a guy that can maybe come in, play a couple small ball units if you want to get faster out there. And he fits that mold.
Right. All right, Gray. Yeah, I like Taylor there. I ain't gonna think about that one too much. Taylor finally comes off the board.
Taylor, wow.
Pick 21. I think
21.
Brooklyn got back-to-back picks, right?
Back-to-back picks, which they can't mess up on. And right now I have Cason Wallace going to the Brooklyn Nets.
I like it.
I think they do go with Cam as their starter. But he's a guy that's I'm not gonna say that he's selfish, but he's a guy that's really gonna look for his shot every single time down damn near. I think that's a lot of the reasons why him and Jacques Vaughn bumped heads a little bit, while Cam fell in the rotation a little bit. Just because he has to get better with his playmaking. I feel like they lack a point guard. I know you could throw Ben Simmons in here at this point guard spot, but I think Ben Simmons, I could see him being at more station at the 4 spot this season coming up. If they re-sign Cam Johnson, I think you're looking at Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Ben Simmons, and Nick Claxton as your starters. I mean, you could bring one of them off the bench and then start Joe Harris just to have a little bit more floor spacing out there. But I'm going with Cason Wallace here. They're going and just facilitate a little bit, slide right in there at that guard spot.
I like that pick, bro. That makes a lot of sense. Getting a point guard in there to go in that starting lineup. Now with the back-to-back pick, I'll give you my initial thoughts and I'll let you roll. I think you need somebody to give Nick Claxton some help. Nobody else is really coming in, to give him any relief at that center spot. Another big guy. I like Noah Clowney out of Alabama, but take it away. Let me know your thoughts.
It's so funny. I had Noah Clowney here / Chris Murray. Now, they had Chris Murray dropping all the way down to the Kings at 24. I think it's going to be hard. Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for the Nets to pass up on him twice and the Blazers to pass up on him. He's basically Keegan Murray 2.0. But your pick makes no pun intended. And your the Noah Clowney fit I just think you need some height seamlessly. Yeah, it
you got
fits
Cam
seamlessly.
Johnson. Not to cut you off, bro. You got Cam Johnson, who, they're the same type of player, Chris Murray and Cameron Johnson. Chris probably can create a little more, but I think they're pretty similar. And even you can kind of slide Dorian Finney-Smith. You have that type of player, that power forward, stretch, lanky guy, already on your roster. So I like Noah Clowney here.
Let's go with Noah.
All right, and I think Nick Claxton with Alabama too. So we got 2 Alabama centers in the backcourt. Back to Portland. You got Scoot.
You got Scoot. I think you go with, like I said, a Chris Murray here, or who I initially had going here. I think you go with James Najee. Here, get some size down there. I think they got to start looking at bolstering that backup 5 position. I like Yusef Nurkic, but he's getting a little bit on the older side. His production hasn't been as consistent as it's been in the last couple years. And then his backup Drew Eubanks isn't really much more production. So I think you got you're guard heavy out there. You got a couple threes. Your four spot is a little bit weak. That could be upgraded as well too. What do you think here for the Blazers, bro?
Yeah, bro, this is tough. It's definitely somebody in the front court. It's just, do you like James to come in there and fit, and maybe not take over right away because you still got Nurkic, right? So do you like him to learn and develop, and then, can you bring in, if you re-sign Jeremy again, or bring in a forward to play with Scoot? This is tough.
Yeah, it definitely is tough, bro. Like I said, you either go with James Najee with the athleticism to bolster that, that 5-spot block shots, or you can go with the offensive Chris Murray, where you're stretching the floor. You know what I'm saying? You get more of a mobile power forward here.
Yeah, I think
I like the fit because I feel like Chris could start some games. If you do lose Jeremiah Grant, I feel like Chris could start some games.
I would try. If I'm the GM, I'm taking Chris Murray. I know it would have been nice to get Keegan and Chris on the same team. That'd have been dope. And if that does happen, that'd be dope. But yeah, if I'm Portland's GM, I'm not passing on Chris Murray. I'm just not. So we going Chris there.
Going Chris. Who we got?
All right.
We got the Kings.
Sacramento, 24.
So, with Harrison Barnes' free agency looming, I don't see how they don't take Bryce Seneboff here. I'm saying that right. Another guy that, he's not really one of the best shooters, but he brings that athleticism, his defensive, tenacious defense that could, what he's going to be matched up with. You won't be sitting there, giving up so much height by putting Davion Mitchell on a lot of these perimeter guys. But I have Bryce going here. What do you think? You thinking Rupert?
Yeah, I'm thinking Rupert or Derek Whitehead, bro. I think it adds more length. Bryce Senegal, bro. Senegal. I watched him play at Ohio State a lot of times, and Ohio State was a very streaky team, and he was the most consistent scorer. But the way he gets his buckets, it kind of reminds you of a Villanova guard. He reminds me of like a Kyle Lowry in Villanova, or a Scotty Reynolds. He gets into the paint. He shoots that fader inside the paint, shoots a mid-range shot really well. They have him listed as a small forward, but I don't think he's a small forward. I think he's a 2. I don't think he's the best defender. He just can create. He can get his shot off. You know, some dudes you watch and it's like he just can score. You know what I mean? That's his game, to me. So I don't think that, would replace Harrison Barnes on the defensive end.
It's kind of like getting the same Harrison Barnes, you think?
I think it's a different game, bro. I think Harrison Barnes provides some defense. I think Harrison Barnes can knock down some threes. He gives you some length. He can rebound the basketball. When I think of Bryce, I think of a guard that can get in the lane and score. With really no. I'm not gonna say no rhyme or reason, but he just can score the basketball, right? Like nothing athletically jumps off the page with center ball. There's nothing super crafty. It's just he can put the ball in the basket.
Vibes.
Yeah, he can just score the ball.
Run, hit you with his shoulder real quick.
He just gonna score. Yeah, and I think that's how Bryce's game is. So I don't see Bryce going here. I can see Derek Whitehead or Ryan Rupert. But we're gonna
go with Ryan because you actually saw, like I said, in the beginning of the video, our mock draft is based on our analysis, what we've seen, but also, taking things from other mock drafts and stuff. I didn't catch much of Bryce this season, but I see a lot of people had him high on their boards here. And just based on the Kings needing, like you said, they have him listed as a small forward, but you think he's more of a 2. So that's what kind of, drove me more towards that pick.
Got you. No, it makes sense.
Where we at?
We at Memphis, pick 25.
Ooh, this team needs some creation in that damn half court.
Yeah.
They are
yeah.
I went with Brandon Pondazamiski. Hope I'm saying that right. I hope it ain't butchered too much.
Santa Clara?
Yes,
Claire?
shooter, creator. I think with Ja being out these 25 games, we're big on Tyus, but I also think they needed more production off the bench. I think you got just an array of guys, and I don't even know all of their names without Dami, and you got Kenny Lofton. You still have Xavier Tillman is going to be coming off the bench with Steven Adams back. But I like their front court. I think you'll get probably Brandon Clark back midway through the season, who he could be backing up Jaren Jackson. You still got Steven Adams and Xavier Tillman. So your front court is pretty all right, but I think they need somebody that can back Bane up consistently. They also need to look at somebody that could come in and contribute to with John Morant serving this 25-game suspension. So Tyus is going to be your starter, but who's going to be backing up Tyus Jones now? So I thought Brandon here, he's seasoned a little bit, 2 years under his belt in college. So I went with Brandon here. What do you think?
I actually think Bryce makes sense here. I know we just got off of him. But like you said, creating in the half court, a lot of times Desmond Bane is forced to create. And like you said, when he's off the floor for those 25 games, or even when Ja is back, you want a guy that can create their own shot, right? You got Jaren Jackson. You have a lot of great role players, or guys that stars in their role, I'll say, around Ja and Desmond. But you need somebody that can go get a bucket. I think bringing Brandon in, I think it'll be kind of a carbon copy of Luke Kennard and what his role on that team is. And I like Luke Kennard coming off the bench. I think he's, maybe the most efficient three-point shooter in the league. And you got some guys that can shoot it. But I just think Bryce is the better fit here. Just to go get you a bucket. I think Brandon is a guy that you put around guys that's going to penetrate and kick, and he'll be, efficient in that way. But I don't think they have that guy without Ja for those 25 games at least.
We shall see though, man. I'm cool with either or pick here.
You've been rocking with me. We're going Brandon.
We're going Brandon.
We're going Brandon. You've been rocking with me.
I'll take it. Bryce might go to the pick I originally got him going to.
Yeah, right. All right, Indiana back on the clock. They got
Indiana,
Walker.
Mr. No wrong answers.
Mr. No wrong answers. I like that.
Mr. No, we got a couple of teams like that. So, I got Derek Whitehead going here.
Yeah, I like that.
Another, like I said, Indiana has an array of guards right now. This gives you a young athletic wing that can get out. He'll be good next to Benedict.
That's Derek.
It's not Derek.
I don't know. I feel like it's Derek though. I feel like watching Duke.
We gotta definitely find out.
My
thing is, with Mr. Whitehead is, I was expecting so much more from him at Duke. I know Duke, they was going through the transition without Mike Krzyzewski, their first year without him. And I know they had an up and down riddle season before they was able to get it going. Me, I thought they was going to have a deep run in the NCAA tournament. But I don't think he ever got going. But, he did show signs of being NBA ready. So we should see what he got to do
for a reason.
Yep. And then, going to Indiana, I feel like that gives him, he won't have as much pressure to be ready now.
Right. No, I agree, bro. I like that pick.
Hornets
back on the clock. You got Brandon Miller. You got LaMelo Ball.
I think your man comes off the board, man. I think you get Bryce in there.
I like it. Ain't gonna contemplate it. I like it. Send the ball off the board.
The Jazz.
Utah. They got Keontae. I like Utah's draft already. This is how it goes. You got Jalen. And you got Keontae with Laurie, and you got another pick.
Backcourt looking good, and I think you go with OMP here, Mr. Olivier.
Okay.
Get some size down there. Even if you bring him off the bench to back up, Laurie. You know what I mean? Or you can slot him out there next to Laurie when because I know they got the young Walker Kessler, who was all right. I think he was all rookie second team this year. He had a lot of double doubles on the season as well too. Once he did get the start, when Kelly Olynyk was out. So I do like Olivia here.
Okay, I was gonna say Hawkins Jr. from UCLA, a senior, a guy that can come in and has some winning experience. I think he comes in, he plays that three. They come off the bench. I don't know who's their starting three.
For the Jazz?
Yeah, I don't know who they have starting at the three. They kind of got a weird lineup. Maybe THT starts.
THT was playing one. That's what's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, but I like Hawkins, bro. I think he's Player of the Year nominee. Game is not super athletic. Doesn't do anything that jumps off the chart. Just a really polished player, fundamentally sound. Can give you good minutes. Going to play defense. Going to do everything right, and I think he's going to minimize mistakes. So that's why I want Hawkins there. But
makes sense, bro. Makes sense though, since that small forward spot is pretty vacant. I saw in a couple mock drafts, I saw Jamie going late first round, but I've seen him floating around the second round a little bit. So, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm cool with either or pick here. We're gonna let you pick this one right here, bro.
We're gonna go on pick. I feel like I had my little run.
You had your little run.
Indiana, goddamn, Indiana, right back at it.
Yeah, bro, they've been living, man. They've been living.
I think. Never mind.
What you think, bro? Give me your analysis first, and I'll let you know who I got going here. This is a crazy sneaky one.
Sneaky one. I like the sneaky one.
This is a sneaky one, bro.
Who you got? Jalen Wilson?
Nope.
I don't know here, bro. I think if I'm Indiana, I'm taking a chance on Marcus Sasser. I think the reason he falls is because of that injury that he suffered in the conference tournament. But I think Marcus Sasser was a beast. I think you bring him in and he backs up Halliburton, so it's not a lot of pressure on him, and he could turn into something, and then you can figure that out. You can play Sasser with Halliburton down the line if that's the case. So I would take that risk there.
My only thing with Indiana drafting a point guard is just because they still have TJ McConnell, who I think he's still a productive backup.
I forgot TJ was
running his second team. Yeah, so that's what kind of tough, because then you will kind of shelf a rookie point guard, bringing him in there, kind of stunt his growth a little bit. But from out of left field though, and I know they've already picked forwards, but I think you bring a guy like Amari Bailey in at that 2 spot. I know they have him going in the second round, but like I said, you could bring a guy like him off the bench and let him run a little rabbit behind Buddy Hill.
Amari Bailey, you said power forward, you meant point guard.
Shooting guard, I meant for Amari Bailey. I know you've been facilitating a little more.
Yeah, I like it too.
But then also had a slash next to Amari. Bro, don't be surprised if one of these teams, I would say 26 through 29, because I'm not going to say the Clippers, but 26 through 29 is the Pacers, Hornets, Jazz, Pacers. I wouldn't be surprised if Imani Bates goes to one of those teams. And I know everybody has him going mid-second round, but I'm like, I don't know if all 30 guys in that first round is better than Imani.
Agreed.
And I think that if he can go to one of those teams where they won't, I compare it kind of like Brandon Boston on the Clippers from out of where the fuck did Brandon go?
Kentucky.
I think he's a guy that needs to be out there on the floor playing now. But unfortunately, he's on a team with Kawhi Leonard. He's on a team with Paul George. He's on a team with Terrence Mann. Oigada has a lot of guys in front of him. If Imani Bates can drop to a team like Indiana, where he's going to get his run, he's going to get his shots, he's going to get the minutes, I think he can contribute immediately. I may be going out on a limb here. I could be fucking wrong, but then I could be fucking right.
I think he needs to go to a situation where I think he needs to go to a situation where he could just go and flourish and not hit that wall, that rookie wall. But who we taking here at 29? We going to Monty? We going to Monty Bates?
Let's go, Monty. Let's
I like that curveball.
You might gotta type you might gotta type his name in to get to him, but he coming.
No,
There he is,
right
baby.
there. He right there.
There he is.
Last pick of the first round.
We got the damn Clippers.
The Clippers, bro. You got Paul George. You got Kawhi. There's rumors that Chris Paul reunion.
Which I don't know, because then what, he just gonna let Russ walk?
Yeah. Good question.
I was torn between two guys here, and that was either bolstering up, back, because you seen in the playoffs when Zubac came out the game, they didn't really have no center before they got Plumlee. And then Plumlee's a free agent this year, so I don't know if he comes back or if he goes and signs with another team. So this is why I had, James Najee here. Or to bolster up that shooting guard spot, I had Kobe Jones as well. What are some of the things that you think that the Clippers could add here to their already constructed roster?
Yeah, I like that pick, bro. I'm thinking Kobe Jones, and if not, I sound like a broken record here, but I like Marcus Sasser. Also, bro, Ben Shepherd is nice out of Belmont. But that was a side note. But I like Marcus. I would take the chance. I think somebody is got to take the chance with Marcus Sasser, man. It was a beast. It was getting a lot of media time, a lot of talks. He just had that injury, right? And that's why he's down here.
Do you get him as insurance? And now, hold on.
I think you get him because Chris Paul and Russ are both old. Yeah, right? If he can learn under Chris Paul and just get healthy and come in but I think these guys not gonna be here forever.
My thing with the Clippers though is my original pick, I had Ben written down, but then I penciled him out because I'm like, you already have Kawhi, you already have PG. But then I'm thinking maybe he could come in as a backup and stagger the minutes between the two. But then I also started thinking about Terrence Mann also. Still thinking about Robert Covington. Yeah, you do. And if you take Marcus, what does this mean for Preston? The kid that they took out of Ohio last year, the 5'6" guard. You still got Brandon Boston. I think they have young guys in the tuck. This is why I was leaning towards James Najee here, because they don't. I don't think Plumlee resigns, and I don't think they got. I forgot the young athletic black kid name Manuta something. That plays for them. Zubac a little bit. Yeah, him. So I don't know what direction they go in here, bro. I'm gonna give the keys to you on.
I just think the Clippers are in win now. Right, Clippers been in win now for so long, bro. And I seen this little nugget that they're the only team that had a winning record for the last 10 years. But nothing to show for it.
But
nothing to show for it. Right. So and I just think if I'm still in win now, if I got Paul George, Kawhi, and I'm gonna bring in Chris Paul, that lets me know that I'm being aggressive. I think a guy like James doesn't reflect aggressive. I think Kobe Jones would make the most sense here. And I think we both would agree on that one. So yeah, let's pull the trigger on Kobe, bro.
We're gonna go with Kobe. We're gonna be in there battling practice with old head Eric Gordon and going toe to toe, going pow out.
And that's the no stats mock draft right there for you. Let's see how accurate we can get, bro.
Whew.
Let's see how this one turn out.
Will we get a B+ on our NFL mock draft?
Yeah, something like that. Somewhere around
like that. Yeah,